Gabrielle Doria. This is Brielle Brenner. We're so excited. We are doing a video today on non-toxic beauty. So I have been using non-toxic beauty for 5-6 years now. Brielle is a makeup artist, an amazing makeup artist, and she has a little bit of experience with non-toxic beauty.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I would say that I know of some product lines that you have here. I kind of know a decent amount about ingredient makeup and just kind of what goes into non-toxicity and products that are kind of on the mainstream market, but I'm not well versed in. I'm excited to try and use this Malu. Is that how you say it?
I think it's Malu
Protecting Day Cream and Sunscreen, because we all know you should have a sunscreen in your moisturizer, or in addition to your moisturizer, to keep you looking young and fabulous forever. So I'm going to go ahead and spray. What are you going to say?
Oh yeah. I was going to say that, I don't know, I haven't really talked to you that in depth.
Right.
Chris had skin cancer at the end of 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. So he has a huge cutout on his back. He had 2 surgeries. SPF is like, slather it, bathe in it, soak me. So
this is the Malu Protecting Cream. It's a nice kind of thin moisturizing cream. It feels really good. I like.
It smells good.
I can't smell a ton of things with this mask on, so
sorry.
I'm kind of leaving it up to you.
It doesn't.
Oh no, don't apologize to me. I'm into it.
But if you're not wearing an SPF under your makeup, like that helps prevent wrinkles.
Yep.
That helps, you know, just like the daily like free radicals on your face. It's like just an extra protective barrier.
Absolutely, and I think that it's really important. It's literally the #1 anti-aging product that you can use on your face, because sun is what does the most damage to your skin and breaks down your skin the most. So so what's happening?
This is a brand that I just discovered. So these are, I'm not gonna lie, I also purchased their lipsticks and I did not like them. I returned them. And they actually sell this at Sephora. Sephora has a clean beauty little section. It's not big.
I've seen it.
But it's like this big.
Right.
And so Lawless is a part of that. And their lips, no.
Dry?
They're drying. They didn't. Do you know when you put on products like on a lip or like a nail or toe polish, and the product goes to the middle and it doesn't stay on the outside? That's how I felt about their lips. And I just feel like the first thing that you change, or I recommend you changing when you're switching to clean beauty, is starting with your lipstick.
That's a good point.
Because that is the first thing that goes into your body, because it's on your mouth.
Yep.
So I feel like clean beauty, non-toxic beauty has done such a good job with lips. Like we'll get to the lip section, but there's like Kosas has amazing lips, Clove and Hallow has great lips. So I just feel like Lawless
you're like, throw it out, it's not great.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And two, when you're switching products, like you don't have to settle just because it's non-toxic. Like you don't have to settle.
A wide range now.
There's so many brands that have so many good products that if it's not working for you, move on and find one that you know.
And we're looking right now at like 5 different product lines in front of us right now, and 2 or 3 of them I know are sold at Sephora. So it's also not as difficult to find kind of, you know, non-toxic or more kind of natural, you know, components in skincare and makeup right now on the mainstream market. Yeah. So the Lawless, what I noticed when I pumped it out on my hand is that it's a thin primer. It's almost like a thin liquid. I put the foundation on too, but I don't know if y'all can see this. It's almost like a gel water consistency, which you don't see a lot in primers. Usually they're thicker, so I'm curious to see how this operates. And because it's Lawless and the foundation is Lawless, typically if you buy from the same brand, they're going to work together better than maybe if you were to pair this with something else. The chances that it would work as flawlessly with the Lawless would maybe be not a home run. So we'll see. I think it's gonna work really nicely together.
And the only thing that I didn't love about Lawless was I didn't go to Sephora, so I was ordering it online,
Okay.
and I had to order a couple different shades
Of
to
course.
find my shade.
Right.
And they didn't take returns. So
Oh gosh.
it's one of those things, like I would
Right.
reach out to customer service, like I would make sure to do research before, or just go to Sephora.
Yeah, something, exactly. If you don't have a Sephora near you, I like to look at swatches online. A lot of the times what I do for my clients is I'll take an existing foundation that they have that they like the color of. I'll check the color, the whatever the number or the shade is, and then I will look online for the comparison with the
Yes.
brand that I'm looking for. And
Yeah.
some websites already have a comparison chart where you can find your brand and then find your color. And I
Yeah.
know Sephora does have that
Oh, that's
online.
good. Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah, a shade finder.
And we're using shade Golden,
Okay.
just for reference.
So because this is a full coverage foundation, I'm actually going to go in and try and see how much coverage it's going to add under her eyes first. And so that will give me kind of an understanding of how much coverage this does provide, how it's going to sit texture-wise, and whether or not we will even need to use a concealer
We
or
will.
not. So let's see. So go ahead and look up for me. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm using just a brush that's kind of flat, a flat concealer brush to pat this on under here. It's the same color as Gabby's skin, and sometimes for under the eyes I like to use something just a half shade lighter to brighten it up. But again, I'm just kind of seeing how this is laying down, and under the eyes is a really good way to check texture and coverage. Okay, close for me. Don't forget to get in your tear duct always. That's one of the darker parts of your face, whether you can see it or not from the naked eye. When you put it on, you'll notice how different it looks when you brighten it up. Look up.
I have really dark under eye circles. And they say it's hereditary. I mean, I also have autoimmune issues, so
Right.
that's, you know,
That
that's
can
a
contribute.
portion, but
So we've got pretty good coverage under the eye. I mean, it knocked out a lot of the darkness under there. It's laying on, it looks not matte, it's looking like skin. So it's got a little bit of a glow to it, which might be the primer underneath it. If you were to use it without the primer, it might lay down a little bit more matte. But I like a foundation to have a little bit of a skin finish, so it's not looking like you are completely powdered,
right.
dry, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a bigger brush now. What do you apply this with when you use it?
So I use a foundation brush. So I
Yeah.
actually bought, you heard that those the Artemis brands?
Uh-huh.
Like I actually bought those. I actually don't really love it.
I don't either, I don't use them.
I don't love it. I was so disappointed. It just didn't do anything with my face.
Right.
I use this brush.
Okay, I like brushes like that, like a flat, you know, stippling foundation brush. We'll try it with this. I'm gonna do half with my hands just to feel out the texture. When I get a new foundation, I like to play around with how I apply it. Some foundations go on really nicely with a brush, some with a sponge, and some with your hands, and then sometimes a combo of both. So it's just really preference and what you feel like is getting the most coverage, or the coverage that you want. So as we stipple this on and we use these patting motions because the brush is flat, we're getting the most coverage possible. This is going to provide the most coverage. If you use a wet beauty blender, that's going to give you a more sheer coverage. And that's a way to thin out a very full coverage foundation, is to use a damp beauty blender with your foundation, so you can kind of control the coverage. So we're going with the full coverage method. This looks good on you, I like it.
What do you think? How do you think it's setting?
I think it's setting nice. I think under the eyes so far there's been no creasing. It's a little bit dewy, which I like. So that kind of, even though it's full coverage, you are getting that skin finish, which helps to kind of combat that full coverage. Because you know you've seen some that are just like totally matte and full coverage, and that's not cute. So I'm going to brighten up under here just a little. I'm dotting it on, I'll leave it on for a second, then I'll go ahead and blend it. Close, put a tiny bit, on the eyelids. I always go around the nose. Sometimes you'll have little lip, where you feel like you have darkness around your lip or your lip line isn't prominent. I like to conceal just a little bit to kind of crisp, make that a little more crisp. Let's see. no blemishes because flawless.
Okay, that's the foundation. That's the foundation. Then it's
I
not
don't see
weird.
any blemishes on there.
I've been really focusing hard on my morning and nighttime routines,
Okay.
skincare wise, and using soap pillowcases, washing
Do you
it,
like them?
flipping it. Love it. Like my husband
Okay.
has one. He
Okay.
will not sleep without it. He's like, "Where's my silk?" I'm like, "I'm drying it. Like, calm
Yeah,
down. Like,
yeah.
I'm not drying it in the dryer, but I'm, you know, it's
But
air
it's
dried."
true. Keeping them clean is so important, especially if you
Yeah.
struggle with like acne or any type of
Yes.
like thing like that. Your pillowcase is a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every night I flip it, and then once a week I wash it.
Okay. Good point. Do you like the slip ones or which ones do you like?
So I actually did order the slip ones. I mean, they were expensive, but I feel like the quality is better than the ones that I got from Amazon.
Okay.
Um,
And they're like, I forget what kind of silk they're called. They're called some sort of specific silk, and you can find, do you remember what it is?
no, but I would like to call it sexy silk.
Oh, sexy
because
silk.
It's,
Sexy
it
silk.
feels so good, and it feels so nice too when you're getting in bed at night.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
chilly on your face.
I love that. I love a cold pillow.
It's so nice. I love a cold sheet too. I just love a
Totally.
cold
Me
bed.
too. Me too. So I'm literally just patting this on. The more you rub things off, it's gonna kind of move. If you want it to like really conceal something, you're gonna go in with a patting motion, and then you can blend on top of that. But look up for me. So I'm getting this right up underneath her eye, like right underneath her, I guess her lash line rather, so that we can knock out any of that red that comes just from your eyes. Everyone kind of has that.
I've seen people like on YouTube when they're talking about concealer, they do it in a V shape. Is that how you do it, or
Here?
Yes.
Yeah, so if this was a more, like, this is a more natural look that we're doing. If it was kind of more of a, like, an evening look or a real kind of intense look, I would do that. I would take a concealer that would be even a little bit lighter than this, because this is still your skin color. And I would pop it as a highlighter in that V area, 1, 2, 3, like over here, and I would blend it down your cheek and onto. It's literally just a highlight. Is what it is. It's highlighting the center.
I also have this color. It's a
Okay.
little lighter.
Well, this is the Kosas. I wanted to use this.
Oh yeah, so this is the new Kosas concealer.
Okay.
So you can try
Let's see.
that.
Yeah.
And just see the difference in the texture even.
Right. So the cloven halo, really quickly before we move on, super thin. It's almost like a serum type of concealer. So I'm gonna put it on my hand. So it's got, when you put it on your hand, I don't know how much you can see, it goes on, it's very creamy. And it feels almost a little bit like an oil, rather than some that feel like a cream. So I think the Kosas looks a little more creamy. Yeah.
So I tried to use this under my eyes once, and I was like, oh, it was very light.
Yeah,
So
it is.
maybe I used too much, or
It's possible that it just is just too light.
yeah. So you'll see.
But we'll see, because again, there's ways to use, if you have like a super light concealer, if it's like a shade or a shade and a half light, there is a way to use it to where you can still not have to throw it out. So I am just gonna pop a few dots kind of in that V area that Gabby was talking about. And then I'll show you blending it out. You can also do it, you can do your whole highlight with, not a shimmer highlight, but just like a nice contour and highlight look with no shimmer. You can do with a lighter concealer like this. I'm putting it down the center of the face, all these high points of the face.
Okay.
So you now look like you have a fabulous look happening here.
We can just stop like this.
Yeah, this is it.
This can be it for the day.
This was our tutorial. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out either with a sponge or foundation brush or whatever suits your fancy. You kind of keep, hi doggy.
It was only a matter of time.
I know, until they were like, oh, we're getting off the bed, we're not listening. My mom she can't do anything.
The other one
She
will
can't do anything to discipline me,
Nope.
so.
The other one will be coming very shortly.
So it's not entirely too light at all, I think, once it's blended, and it's adding
Really?
it's adding a nice brightness too. I wish I could give you a little mirror so you can see. It's adding so I put that on your forehead and I just blended that out.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And do you see the V? that I'm talking about?
I do.
So that's just kind of like how we'll blend it. We'll kind of keep it in those areas.
Okay.
Yep.
This is a good highlighter too.
Okay. And that'll be like, we'll do that as like a final highlight.
Yeah.
A more shimmery highlight. Close.
I'm just gonna pull out all the makeup.
It's fun.
Do you want your makeup done, Remy?
Okay, so just keeping it in that area, brightening it up. We're already starting to see a tiny bit of creasing on the eyelid, but that's fine. Again, we'll just kind of blend that off.
So would you say that one is better for a different like skin type, like oily or dry?
Yeah, so usually if you are more oily, you can handle that more kind of full coverage that's a little bit more matte. I would say, I guess the Kosas would be kind of something that would work for, I mean, these are both good for all skin types.
Okay.
A lot of the
That's
things,
great.
right, I think, I'll blend this out on my hand. I think the Kosas is going to be more mattifying, more, which will naturally make it sit more full coverage.
Okay.
You know, the way that someone explained it to me once is like the more glowy or like serum based or I don't know, just like more skin like something is, the easier it's going to rub off, you know, because it's like paint that never dries.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
that's actually good to know.
yeah, so if you're super oily, sometimes if you get a thinner kind of texture like the Cloven Hell, it might just slip and slide everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, I think they're both good for all skin types, but I think the Kosas will provide a little more coverage, it's a little thicker, and the Cloven Hell is a little thinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Okay, close. Okay, look up. All right, so that's good. We got a good conceal. I feel like those products, even using them together, even though we didn't need to use both concealers, I think it was good to see like, you know,
difference.
the Cloven Hell being, the Kosas being lighter, just gave us that ability to highlight that and brighten it up a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think is a good look for darker under eyes.
Me.
Lighten it just a half a shade or so. All right, so now we will move on to, I always do kind of shaping of the face after foundation, so maybe like a contour product or like a bronzer. Do you have?
Yeah, so I use this bronzer and I'm super cool. It's RMS Beauty, it's their luminizing powder, but
Okay.
I'm super cool and lost the top. So this is how I rock it.
That means you love it and you use it.
Yeah,
right?
So I really do like that.
Okay.
I don't know how to use it well. I just use a regular brush and like I scoop my nose
Okay.
and like here and then on my cheeks.
Cool.
But I really like it. It's really pretty.
Yeah. Do you have a bronzer that's not shiny or shimmery?
No.
Okay. So this is going to be good to add an overall color. We won't do a ton of like real face shaping with it because that's better to do with something that's more matte.
Yeah.
And like more kind of a bronze matte. This
And
is a
I'm
bronze
not
shimmer,
like
so this adds color.
A face shaper.
Yeah.
Like I just don't fit. I don't
Right.
fit numbers.
And you don't
that's
have
too
to.
paint by numbers for me. That's
Right.
like level advanced. Like
Right.
I'm level like
Right.
just let me get by.
Totally.
I don't.
But the way I show people is so easy. It's like, I think people have this idea, right, of Instagram of like, oh, you have to have those stripes on your face and you
Yeah.
have to like have, no.
And then that also makes
No.
me feel like I'm wearing too much makeup.
Sure.
So I don't like to wear
Sure.
a lot of makeup.
Right.
Like I want to be as minimal.
Right.
I want to be as minimal as possible, right?
Right.
So I'm not trying to do like the marks everywhere.
Yeah.
But
So we won't be doing that. We won't be doing that, but I'll show you the placement for a bronzer and show you kind of where to put that. So that is the RMS Beauty, like you said, illuminizing powder. So this is going to provide a little bit of a highlight too. So she's going to be nice and glowy at the end of this because all these products we've used have been, you know, kind of in that glow.
I think I like to be glowy.
I do
think
too.
that's it.
I do too.
I don't like the super matte look. Like I want to be natural and glowy.
Yeah, we're trying to, we're just trying to stay young over here and beautiful, and we need to be glowing. So,
Right.
I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna start this at her ear, and I'm just gonna bring it toward her face a little bit, but I'm gonna be careful not to go over the area that we kept bright. We wanna keep this triangle a little bright. Turn your face for me that way. So right here by the ear, we're gonna just bring that, this is pretty. It's not overly shimmery by any means. When I swatched it on my hand, I thought it would be.
I like
It's
it.
not. Yeah, it's just got enough depth. A little bit on the chin line here, down the neck. Okay, you can look straight. We're gonna get this forehead area along the hairline. Just tie everything in.
Do you hear them whining?
It's pretty. You must have bionic ears.
You don't hear it?
I'm like,
Yeah, I can hear it.
it's like this high, it's like a high pitched like deer whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have the ears. There, I hear them.
You hear it now?
So again, we're gonna blend from the ear down the cheekbone here. Leave this area open and clean. So we are gonna go and move on just really quickly to blush.
Yeah.
We added the color all over the face. Now we're gonna add just a little bit of a fleshy, you know, like beautiful, you know, pop of color to the cheek.
So, do you put it at the cheekbones or do you do like rosy cheeks? I've seen, because I used to use a cream from Kara Weiss, which is a non-toxic beauty. It's very lovely formulas. I met her and she recommended you doing it at the rosy of the cheek.
Mm-hmm.
I like it on my here.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a split the difference kind of gal. I kind of think that oftentimes if you just pop it on the cheek and don't blend it at all, it can look just like, if you don't have any blending skills and it's just on that apple of the cheek, it can just look a little too dramatic.
Okay, well I don't have blending skills, so I'll watch you do this.
So what I recommend, especially for cream blushes, and I think you have one over here.
I think I have a Kosas here.
The Kosas up
Oh
there.
yeah, that's the cream.
So here's a Kosas cream and blush and highlighter. This is the 8th Muse. It's color and light cream.
Love it, it's so pretty.
So what I like to do with a cream, and I'll show you the placement of what I like to do. I like to concentrate it on the top part of the cheekbone rather than underneath, because that's really where your contour sits, not your color. But I don't just leave it here.
So is that close to where my concealer is, or are you underneath where my concealer was?
Underneath the concealer, under the eyes. We want to keep this area clear.
So below concealer, above contour.
Yeah, but literally the middle of your cheekbone.
Okay.
So if you feel your cheekbone, it's that middle. It's not above and it's not below. It's kind of just, you're popping it. I pop it right here, and then I blend it back. So we're gonna use the Eco Brow today, and then this is the Eco Brow brush.
Yes, that's the brush that comes with
This is
it.
an angled side, and then it's got the spoolie side. So what do you like about the Eco Brow?
Well, I'm not good with brows. Brows are not my thing, but I do like the pot, and I do like that it doesn't smear. Like it's, and it's very, I was scared at first that I would just have like crazy eyebrows.
Right.
But it's not that bad, like it blends so well. And they also have the pin. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like the pin with the, at the end?
Yep.
So I'm gonna try to get that next, but I actually just really like the pot.
Yeah, this is like, so it's like the Anastasia Dip Brow in texture. If you wanted to compare it to something, you know, kind of that you would maybe know. And so it's really good for either filling in if you don't have very thick eyebrows, or if you just want to fill in a little bit and get these kind of nice crisp lines with your angled brush. It's working really nicely. I like it.
Well, your brows should be sisters and not twins, right?
Right.
Yeah, and mine are definitely sisters.
Well, mine too. I feel like often I'm trying to match them too much to where one's getting bigger and bigger and bigger as I'm doing it, and I'm like, stop.
And then they both end up like right here.
That's like when you cut your own hair, you keep cutting. So it's the reverse. All right, let's see. So we got that brow on. So I always recommend using a eyeshadow primer, because I think that without it, you're not going to get the same kind of color payoff with your eyeshadows, and you're not going to get the lasting power. So we're going to use the Ilia. We're just going to say things the way however we want.
There's no rules.
There's no rules in makeup. Just kidding. This is the eye primer. And so we're going to just lay down just a tiny bit, and then this one's nice and creamy. I have used this one before. Some of them are like really dry, and this one's nice and creamy. Do you use eyeshadow primer typically? Not so much?
I'm so lazy. Like,
I get it.
I don't even, when I do my, like, I paint by numbers, okay? So when I'm doing my shadow, I literally know where, like, the base color, the crease color, and, like, the highlight color. Like, and I always buy a palette.
Right.
So that the palette on the back, it tells me put this color here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, that's, I'm not good with it. So yeah.
So we have the Clone Hallow, and then, right. So right here we have, which is your favorite palette? We have the Cloven Hallow, this one, and And the pretty is it a pretty young PYT Beauty?
Yeah, PYT. So I use the PYT the most because it has like a day and night.
Okay.
And it's the 3 colors, so I know what to paint where, like when I paint my numbers. But the Cloven Hallow, it has more shimmer shades.
Right, it does. It's more metallic.
So I kind of like that too. But I only know how to use like 2 colors. So So I kind of like them both the same, but I like the Ilia too.
Yeah, totally. And this one's kind of got some nice mattes in it. It's got a matte bone shade and a matte taupe, and then 2 darker shimmer shades. And I like these colors too. They're really pretty.
What I've noticed about non-toxic shadows is that they're more natural. So, I mean, they're buildable. So if you want to, you know, wear them out, like transfer from day to night, like they're buildable, but all your palettes, you're going to find them to be more natural.
Okay.
So
natural and like,
or like natural color-wise.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
I don't know if it's like the pigmentation to make it non-toxic is a challenge, so there's not a wide range of colors
and different things.
Right, but it's fine by me because I like those colors.
Sure.
So
and I feel like most of my clients are using natural palettes with natural colors because you know they're easier to manipulate and make look natural, right? Instead of you popping on like a bright purple or a blue, which is gonna be interesting.
No, and I feel like when we were growing up, we would just like put glitter all over our lids.
Yes,
and
we're 80s and 90s kids.
Yeah, but now it's like as natural as possible. We don't want to look like we're wearing makeup, but you know, it's so crazy how it changes. But I imagine the non-toxic world with clean beauty will expand their colors. I mean, it's gonna happen.
I'm sure. And speaking of natural, we are doing kind of a natural eye look because we're gonna do a bold lip. And so right now I'm just using in the Ilia, I'm using the natural shade in, I think it's, let's see, Jasper. Which is this bone shade all over that inner lid area here by the tear duct. I'm just patting it on. Then I'm going to go ahead and build my depth in the crease. Now, let's see here.
This is so relaxing. God. Can you just come over every morning? Please.
We get along quite well, so I'll come over, we'll do coffee
and have a standing appointment.
So now we're going to use Moonstone, which is this kind of medium taupe, natural brown shade. And we're going to put this in the crease area just to add some depth in the crease. Blend it back and forth, a little bit down toward the lash line. It's all about just blending.
Painting by numbers.
Yes.
And blending.
And blending by numbers. The better blend, the better eyeshadow look. And we're gonna try 2 mascaras today. I'm excited about that, right? Because you bought a new one, didn't you?
I did.
Which one did you buy?
So we have the Kosas, and we have the Honest Beauty.
And we're gonna show you.
And so I won't tell you too much about them yet.
We're gonna put them on one eye and then put the other one on the other eye just to kind of show a little bit of the different.
So I used to use Dior Show Blackout.
I love that one, right?
And it has been a challenge finding a clean mascara coming from that.
Yeah.
So I do like the ones that I have.
Sure.
But Blackout is pretty much like putting tar on.
It's so dark and so
dark. And when you wash it off, it's all down your face. I mean, it's terrible for you, but it's so pretty. So I'm just like patiently waiting on a brand to come out with something like that.
So do you feel like eyes are the hardest with non-toxic?
Ooh.
Like what do you feel like is, because I know that we said that like foundation is an easier one that, you can kind of transition from, a more kind of traditional product to a non-toxic product easier. Do you feel like it's harder with eyes or just mascara?
I think it just depends on like personal preference.
Okay.
Like if you're the type of person that likes bold shadows, that's gonna be harder.
Yes.
Not impossible, but harder.
Right.
If you're the kind of person that wants a lot of length and a lot of like your eyebrows or your
lashes.
Yes. If you're a person that wants your lashes to be thick and long and super bold, that's the challenge that I have.
I see.
But everything else is super easy to swap.
Right.
But when it comes to mascara, I mean,
Okay.
there's good mascaras. Like you'll see that these are good, but I want my blackout.
Yes, yeah, you want that deep, I get that. I feel like if you're a mascara person, you're like addicted to it. And that's like one of the things that I would always wear.
But now, I mean, there's different brands, like there's clean beauty brands that have come out with, you know, fake lashes. And so like with, you know, the glue is non-toxic. And so, and also I feel like so many people now have moved away from mascara and they're just doing fake lashes or extensions.
Yeah.
And I don't do either.
Sure.
And I'm lazy and I'm not gonna do fake lashes unless I'm on set because I'm lazy.
Sure.
But and I'm not going to do extensions because they rip out my lashes.
Yeah,
So for me, it's just, it's mascara.
Yeah. So we'll try these two in a second. We're going to try an eyeliner here. But I just went ahead and added some more depth of color with the Clove and Hallow palette, which we love Clove and Hallow.
Love
them. And I feel like these are really good, like, you know, more colorful shades, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, you've got these like deep, like rust and shimmer shades here in the brown, and then you've got kind of like a wine or like a maroon that we use a little bit on your eye for some color. So we used this guy here, don't know the name of it because it's not on the back.
They don't teach me how to make my on their packaging.
And then we use a little bit of this rust color just to add some depth. So now we'll go through and do some liner and lashes.
So the liner, you can either do the liquid, because Clove and Hallow just came out with a liquid eyeliner.
Cool.
I cannot do it on my own. Like, I tried
It's challenging to do on camera. She's really put me into the...
No. Oh, well, you don't have to use it.
We'll do it. It'll be fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
I want you to do it because I tried to do it on myself. I even made a reel about it because like Sarah Biggers, who like owns Clove and Hallow, she was like, here it is. And she's a makeup artist, so she's like perfect. She's perfect at doing it herself. And so I tried to do it, and I looked like one of those like Halloween fails when you're trying to do your Halloween makeup and it failed. Like it was so, I just don't understand. So I'm curious to see how, but even I'm curious to see like what you think of like the texture and you know like the brush.
Okay, so so this is the Line and Define Liquid Eyeliner. From Clove and Hallow, and it is I guess it's a felt tip, which I like felt tips better than brushes. For me personally, everyone's different on applicators. I like these, they're easier for me. But like I said, so we got a lot of product coming out, so I'm gonna wipe a little bit off.
And I do know it comes in two colors. This is Onyx, the black, and they do have it in a brown, so if you did want to go for a more natural.
Right. So it is nice and dark. It is a little bit more kind of a watery texture, so you're going to want to keep your eyes shut so that it can settle and set up before you open your eyes and spread it to the top of your lid.
I'm going to enjoy this because I will never be able to recreate whatever you're doing.
I don't believe that. I think you could.
My hands just get way too shaky.
I mean, I always tell people liquid eyeliner is one of the harder things to learn. Stay closed for me. It's pretty. I think definitely the texture, because it's a little more watery, I think what you need to do is do a line of this, let it dry, and then go ahead and go over it just a little bit to deepen that color. The applicator's nice. It's hard to talk when you do this.
I know, I don't want to move.
Don't move unless...
Yeah, no pressure, you know.
Yeah, when you tell people that they're like moving, but you're doing great. I forget to breathe.
I know,
I do, I swear. Okay, so I'm gonna go over it just a tiny bit to deepen it. It's drying nice and kind of matte in color, so it's not shiny.
So did you just draw like a line, or did you do, I mean, what did you just do?
So I started, I'm just doing like a little tiny wing.
Okay.
Just tiny, like a natural wing. So I just draw the end first, and then I go ahead and I connect that to the lid, but I keep the line smaller as I go in toward the tear duct. it would be a whole tutorial.
I feel like that's easier said than done.
Yes, it is. It's not easy to do.
So one of the
Stay
things
close.
that I will say about
Mhm.
clean liner is
Uh-huh.
that the color just doesn't always stay. So if you're putting
Okay.
it on over a shadow,
Okay.
it's gonna blend with the shadow. Like it's very hard for me to find one
Okay.
before this one, which I have to learn how to use it. But like the actual stick.
Can I open?
Oh, can I?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Like the actual stick, you know what I mean? Like when you're
The
putting
pencils?
the pencils.
Oh, okay.
When you're putting it over your shadow, it blends, so then it doesn't even look like you're wearing liner.
I know what you mean. So mascara. So these are the two that you're using?
Yeah, so I use the Honest Beauty. This has a primer on one side.
Cool.
And obviously, this is what the one looks
I
like.
love that.
Yeah, so I actually really love this. Almost you could do one.
I want to do one eye, one eye, and one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Just to
try, yeah. And then the Kosas I just bought today because I wanted you to try it and me as well.
Look down. Curl these babies up a little bit.
It's almost terrifying when someone else is doing
Oh,
this.
I know. I scare people every day. Every day I scare people. This thing.
Ah, I'm just kidding.
Well, now you scared me. Oh my god. So I mean, this is so cute.
Yeah.
Can you see that? It's like the tiniest little, I love a precision wand like this because
Yeah.
I feel like, look down, I feel like, I'm just going to do a few swipes with this. Get a little bit of primer on there. I feel like most of the time, most people do better with a thinner wand. Even if they want that chunky wand, they can get stuff everywhere. So I feel like if you have a hard time applying it, go for something with a more precision wand like this.
And what do you mean by precision wand? Like,
This smaller.
okay.
Smaller, you know, more like not a big chunky fluffy CoverGirl wand, which I love because I feel like that adds a ton of product.
Yeah.
It's not as like lengthening, it's more full, but a lot of the times those can be like easier user.
Right. So before I switched to Clean Beauty, I used to use the Lancome, what was the black, like the very black, like what was it called?
Not the
I'll
pencils.
post it on the video, but anyway, it was a Lancome product, and it was like, I mean, I loved it. So when I was switching over to Clean Beauty, it needed to be super darkening, like super blacks and lengthening, and just give me those dramatic lashes. And it's been a challenge to find them, but I'm excited to see what you think about this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but I'm digging the wand, and I think the wand is half the battle, to be honest.
Thoughts?
Nice and dark.
So Honest Beauty is a Jessica Alba company.
Right.
So that's really cool. I normally don't love when celebrities like create lines because
They're doing good now though. I feel like better.
Yeah,
right?
super better. Super better. But yeah, like betterer. I just sometimes feel like they're not in it for the right reasons and they don't put the effort it takes into the product, but I really love this mascara.
Yeah, it's doing good. I think it's nice and dark. I think my inclination would be to use a brush to get the excess out and separate the lashes more.
Okay.
I feel like it is pulling the lashes together a little bit, like clumping them together.
Yeah, I can see that. I've had that.
Right, and I don't know if it's the formula. It may just be the synthetic brush shape that I like for getting to the base of the lashes. It might not be spreading at.
It's like a lose-lose situation.
It
like
is.
You want a good formulation, but if the brush doesn't work, it's like the brush is great, like the formulation doesn't work. Like I don't know.
It's literally the thing that we deal with all the time, which is like just trying to find the best thing for what you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like this is good for people with small or short lashes.
Yeah.
Because you can get to the base of them. You can pull them.
You can get that jiggle.
Right, exactly. But if you want to have a more fuller lash, this may not be the
Alright, we got another guest.
one for you. Hello. Welcome to Makeup by Gabby and Brielle. How do you open this high security prison?
This is the brow.
Oh my god. Never mind. I'm just gonna use this brow thing really quickly for me to brush through the lashes to kind of unclump the areas that we've clumped. So yes, this Honest one is good in color. It's nice and dark. It'll be good for anybody with shorter lashes or
Do you
anyone
feel like
has
it
trouble
gave
with a
length?
wand. I do. I think it gave a little bit of length. I think it emphasized your length.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think it separated them, but
Just-
almost too much that I needed to like it clumped them together.
Yeah, I see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. After I brush through it, I like it even more. Alright, so the Kosas, I opened this a second ago and I almost got so scared, I shut it right back up and I'll show you why. Sometimes the Kosas the big clean. It doesn't mean that it won't the formula's not right. It just means that when you take something out and that's how much product is on it, let me see if you guys can see this. This is how it came. This is brand new. And this is how it came out of the bottle. It literally has probably 3 weeks worth of product on it at one time, no lie. If you were to not know that and put this right on your eye, you would have a full face of mascara.
Let's not do that.
Unfortunately, now what I have to do is the terrible scraping technique where I'm going to lose a lot of the product. Some of it will go back in the bottle. Some of it won't. So I think off the bat, there's an issue with how they packaged this.
Okay, good to know.
But we'll see once we put it
I do
on.
like the wand. Not
The
gonna
wand is
lie.
cool.
I
curved.
feel like the curve is better for me to not get it everywhere.
Yeah.
I love a curve.
Yeah. Everybody is so unique. I feel like there should be a quiz for like, what is your mascara profile?
Well, and I wish that they gave you the option. Like, I would love if brands were
Right.
like, hey, do you want my product
Yes.
with, like, with what kind of wand? Like, this wand, like, 3 choices.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't have a makeup brand, so.
We're gonna go at this, see how it goes.
Gross.
Look down.
I feel like with all that excess, it would make it a little clumpy applying as well, right?
It really just depends. Anytime you see that, you need to get all that excess off or you're in trouble. Because even after I just got some of that off, we're getting a lot on here. Okay, but this is an example of a way more, again, because of the wand shape difference than the last one and because of the formula, this is a way more thickening mascara.
Okay, well, how about this? I have extra wands.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Pause. I have extra mascara wands.
Oh, cool.
So maybe using a different wand.
No, I like the wand.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So I like the wand. It's just way too much product comes out at one time.
Okay, so maybe that will
Yeah,
make a
the
difference.
wand is fine, and I think as you used it, just on that first
The
swipe,
first swipe.
man, you're taking off a
I
ton.
hate that. Okay.
And then it's probably gonna happen for a week or two until there's less product in the bottle, and then
Okay.
you'll start getting.
Well, it's less product because you just had to wipe it all off.
Right, but hopefully some of it will go back in there. Look down. So I'm gonna comb through these anyway. I do like the thickening aspect. It's nice and dark, just like the Honest. They're both as dark as the other, so that's good. Very, very black. This one is a little bit more curling.
Really?
Too. This one brought your lashes out, kind of thickened them a little bit, and brought them up. So we like that. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna actually line the lips first, get my shape on there. You do have a nice bright lip, natural lip color.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and get this on and then go through with the what did they call it?
It's a lip velvet.
Lip velvet.
It's the color roulette.
Close. Okay, turn chin toward me, turn it. Okay. We got that on there, and then we're gonna go through. Got this nice and beautiful.
It's so pretty.
I always like to get a little bit excess off because these are intense. Oh yeah. And get all the way in the lip, inside your lip, so that there's no line where you can see your skin color on your inner lip.
Mm-hmm.
Because this will dry, right? This will dry matte
Yes.
and it will stay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to get it on right the first time. pretty. I like the color a lot. Formula feels good. How does it feel when it dries?
It feels good.
Okay, it's not too
Mm-mm.
like the old CoverGirl ones. Like they were the first. I feel like they were the first people who ever came out with liquid lipstick. Like my mom used to buy those.
Yeah.
Open. And now it's been like this whole new wave of, you know, like you're saying, even the non-toxic brands are making them and making them well.
Mm-hmm. Overall, tell me what you think about these products versus non-clean beauty products.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really impressed with the products that you've given me to use today, especially the Cloven Hallow has been really great because we use that kind of concealer. You know,
we use all
eyeshadow, we use a ton of that.
Yeah.
So I really was enjoying that. I definitely would sub in some of the products for sure. Like the Ilia palettes are beautiful. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
So you're impressed. So you're impressed with what's, because that's a thing. I feel like a lot of people, just because it's clean beauty, they're like, oh, it can't be as good.
Sure.
So this is, I kind of wanted to do this for another reason, to show that a lot of the products are really awesome, and a lot of the products are just as good, if not better, than, you know, toxic skincare or toxic makeup. So that's what I wanted to highlight today.
Totally.
And I would say that if you're switching over to clean makeup, the first place I would start is lips.
Right.
You know, that's what you're ingesting. That's definitely step one. And there's so many options and so many brands. And then I would go to foundation. That can be a little tricky sometimes just to get the right color match.
Sure.
But once you get it, you're golden.
Yep.
You know, mascara is always an easy one to change. Eyeshadow palettes are an easy one to change. So there's a lot of good swaps that we highlighted today. So hopefully that this was a good resource for you to go ahead and get that journey started. Or if you just wanted a couple products here and there, hopefully this was a good guide for you to enjoy. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.